This is the second video I'm making inspired by this Facebook post I found yesterday, December 6, 2024, where the Lutheran minister posted, "Sex assigned at birth is not a thing. One sex is determined in the womb, and it's either female or male. That's science." I replied to him regarding disorders of sex development, and I have brought up on my computer the National Institute of Health, a chart of DSD, disorders of sex development. I'm going to talk about three. First, XXY. This affects those who were assigned male at birth because the doctor held up the baby and said it's a boy because the doctor observed a penis. But when these outward males have developmental issues growing up, especially at puberty, and a genetic test is done, and it's found they actually are XXY males. So XY is a genetic male, XX is female. So if a human being is XXY, are they not equally female as male? And what if these who are assigned or recognized as male at birth declare that they experience themselves as female? Who are we to argue with them? Are they not in their sex chromosomes equally female? They are, in fact. Despite how they were identified. Here's others. Klinefelter syndrome now affects those who are identified as female at birth because outwardly the doctor holds them up and sees a vagina and says it's a girl. Usually Klinefelter syndrome is recognized when girls hit puberty, and they don't hit puberty. They don't menstruate. And if a test is done and they're found that, in fact, they do not have female internal sex organs and they are actually XY, they have male chromosomes, not female, yet outwardly they appear female. They generally don't experience gender dysphoria. They generally continue to live as females and are content that way despite this significant injury, if you will, that was done to them while forming in the womb. So there's two ways that people are assigned a sex at birth, and it's incorrect according to what's going on inside of them. Or if not incorrect, it's not as black and white as it seems. Now we move on to androgen synthesis defects and insensitivity androgens, and I'll refer to as androgen insensitivity syndromes. And this is what I believe I have, though I've had no genetic test done to prove it. I have lots of evidence. First of all, I never formed an Adam's apple. Why do males form Adam's apples? When they are forming in the womb at just the right time, the androgen hormone has to click into place so that when a male hits puberty, the Adam's apple forms. And mine never did, which would indicate something happened in my endocrine system in the womb. Secondly, I have lighter body hair. Now I have four brothers, and all of them have worn facial hair throughout their lives. And I tried to, but after a couple of weeks of growing facial hair, it was just not good. And so I would always give up and shave it off. Third, I hit puberty very late, the latest of all the boys in my class. And I continued to grow tall even one more inch after I hit age 18. And late puberty is another indication of an androgen insensitivity. And finally, I'm left-handed. Now, nobody knows why only about 10% of the population are left-handed. One theory is that something happened in the endocrine system when the baby was forming in the womb, which caused that 10%, instead of being right-handed, to be left-handed. So I have these four indicators that my endocrine system very well might have been disrupted when I was in the womb. And then here's the big one. In 2013, when my gender dysphoria erupted to where it was, forced me to go to a therapist and then to a doctor, and I went on hormone replacement therapy. Over the course of several years, I experienced these huge fluctuations in how I experienced my gender. And it was only in 2018, after almost 5 years of all this experimenting and surgeries and all that, when I altered my sex hormone so that my testosterone, which when I began all of this in 2013 was exactly where it should be for a male in his 50s, as was my estrogen, low as it should have been. But when over time with surgeries and hormone replacement therapy, my estrogen level was raised to that of a biological woman my age, and my testosterone was lowered the same as it would be for a female, which is what mine are right now. I experience myself as fully male. It's just backwards. But the fact that my gender identity, not by any desire of mine or thought of mine or effort of mine, but it was affected badly for decades, but then blessedly, finally, after 2018, when it settled in place, from the point where I experienced myself as fully male. If I don't have a physical malady, I give up. So I hope from showing those disorders of sex development and my history that I show it's not as simple as holding up the baby or them living their lives or a man fathering children or whatever the case might be, that there are all kinds of possibilities going on inside a human being. So let's just be kind. Let's not post things like sex assigned at birth is either male or female, or the one that people like to argue, there are two genders, male and female. You know what? I don't argue that there's only male and female. Here's my argument. Some people experience a convoluted mixing of these. And that's why we wind up with people who identify as transgender or non-binary or however they best describe themselves. So let's be kind and helpful and compassionate. And as you do, the Lord be with you. Thanks. Bye.